So then guys, welcome back to the channel for a brand new video, and in today's video it is Game Week 5 predictions for League 2, and today's guest is not a League 2 fan or a League 2 content creator. In fact, it is one of my very good mates, Reese Swansaway, Swansea City content creator, a very good mate of mine as well, and he has decided to come on and try and predict Game Week 5 of Sky Bet League 2. Before we get into the video, there are two postponed fixtures in this game week due to international call-ups, that being Fleetwood taking on Salford City and Tranmere taking on AFC Wimbledon, I believe, are the two postponed fixtures. So basically, let's get on with the other predictions. 10 games to predict today for me and my guest. Let's get on with the video.
So big thanks to Mike Green for letting me onto his channel. This weekend there is an international break, but domestic football does continue for League 2, so I'll be giving my predictions. Obviously, I'm more of a Championship fan, so some of these predictions could be a little bit odd, but I think last week I came onto the channel, I did alright, so yeah, let's get into them.
And the first game is Barrow taking on Swindon. Now, Barrow beat a very out of form Harrogate Town last week 1-0, whilst Swindon Town were 1-0 up at home against Notts County, and then David McGoldrick scored 2 goals for the visitors to take all 3 points for the Magpies. Barrow currently sit third in the league, 3 wins out of 4, while Swindon are in the relegation zone, only the 2 points out of the 12 available this season. I just think that Barrow are going to have too much for Swindon, and I think that Barrow are in too good form to basically not win this game. And my prediction is Barrow 2, Swindon Town 1. I just see where Swindon are at the moment, and Barrow are just in a completely different place at the moment. I think they're going to win this 2-1.
So first up we have Barrow versus Swindon. Barrow, very, very good start to League 2. They're currently in the top 3. Swindon, not doing great, in the bottom 2. So you look on paper and you think this is going to be a standard Barrow win, and I'm going to go for that as well. I'll go for 2-0 Barrow win. Barrow have been very good. Obviously, they beat Derby in the Carabao Cup as well. But Swindon, yeah, not a great start for them this season.
This game then is Bradford City taking on Carlisle. Obviously, Carlisle sacked Paul Simpson after that defeat to Tranmere Rovers at Brunton Park, whilst Bradford City also lost last week against a Grimsby Town side, which you'd expect Bradford to be winning that 100%. Bradford currently then sitting in 9th place, a point off the playoffs. First loss of the season, first drop points of the season last week up at Blundell Park. Whilst Carlisle United, only the 1 win so far this season, that coming in the Cumbrian Derby, defeats to Gillingham, MK Dons, and obviously Tranmere Rovers. They want to get back to some sort of winning ways, but I do think that this is going to be a bit too soon for Carlisle, and I think Bradford City are going to win this one 2-0.
Next up, we have Bradford versus Carlisle. Quite a localish game, not too far, these two clubs. Bradford 9th in the division, Carlisle 21st. Again, similar to Barrow, where obviously Bradford being the home team gives them a big advantage, and obviously having a good start to the season as well. But I think it'll be tight. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Bradford win. I think it'll be a tough game, this one, but I think Bradford will just get over the line.
The next game is Cheltenham Town taking on Harrogate Town. Now, obviously, we know Cheltenham beat Newport last night in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. I don't care about that. If Cheltenham fans want to celebrate it, I said in my vlog yesterday, if they want to celebrate it, go and celebrate it. In terms of this one then, in terms of my prediction, Cheltenham, of course, lost last week to Michael Flynn's former side, Walsall 2-1, whilst Harrogate Town put in a valiant performance, but still lost 1-0 to Barrow. Harrogate currently sitting in 16th, whilst Cheltenham Town sitting in 20th. Only 1 win each this season. Harrogate, of course, got a draw, but 3 defeats since the opening day for Cheltenham, and I do think this is going to be an away victory. I'm going to go Cheltenham Town 0, Harrogate Town 1.
Next up, we've got 2 struggling teams. We've got Cheltenham in 20th and Harrogate in 16th. Both teams only on 3 and 4 points respectively. Yeah, be a tough game, this one. I'll go for Cheltenham 2-1 victory.
Then is Chesterfield taking on Grimsby. Now, both of these two teams have had, quite promising starts to the season. They are literally right next to each other in the table. Grimsby currently sitting in 11th. Chesterfield currently sitting in 12th. Chesterfield last week lost 1-0 to Gillingham, but to be fair, they have had a good start to the season back in the Football League, only their first defeat of the season, whilst Grimsby had an incredible result last week, beating Bradford City 2-1, handing them their first defeat of the season. And this one, I think there's going to be goals in this. I think, both teams defensively could look suspect, but both teams going forward can score goals, as we've already seen this season. Grimsby scoring 6, conceding 8, whilst Chesterfield scoring 7, conceding 3. I think there's goals in this one. I'm gonna go with a home side. Chesterfield 3, Grimsby Town 2. I think there's gonna be a 5-goal thriller in this one.
So next up, we've got a mid-table clash early on the season. Chesterfield in 12th with 5 points. Grimsby 11th with 6 points. I think it'll be a close game. Obviously, Chesterfield have a fantastic fan base, one of the best in League 2. Obviously, they're looking to get promoted again. They did terrific in the National League. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think, obviously, with Will Grigg there, a lot of experience up front. But I just feel like Grimsby are a team which, are capable of pulling up an upset.
Next up, then, is Colchester taking on Bromley. Now, this is actually, I think, going to be a good game despite the way that the two teams have started this season. Colchester last week did unfortunately lose drew to Accrington Stanley. I was looking at a different result, 1-1, but you could arguably say that drawing away to Accrington Stanley is a loss for Danny Crowley's team, but they didn't lose whilst their opponents for match day 5, Bromley, managed to, they did nearly take all 3 points against Crewe Alexandra. They were 1-0 up, and then a goal from Mickey Dimitro and Chris Long took all 3 points for the Railway men. But again, I think Bromley have started the season very well. Bromley currently sitting in 10th place, whilst Colchester United sitting in 15th. I think this one is going to be a draw. I'm going to go for Colchester United 1, Bromley 1.
So next up, Colchester versus newly promoted Bromley. Bromley started the season very, very well indeed. I am looking out for Bromley, as they do have Swansea's 2 youngsters on loan to them, Cameron Congreve and Josh Thomas. Colchester, though, very, very good team at home, especially in the last couple of seasons. I'll go for a Colchester 3-1 victory.
Next up then is Crewe Alexandra taking on Morecambe. Now, Crewe Alexandra sit 18th in League 2 with their first win of the season last week. And Morecambe, bottom of the division, 4 games, 0 goals, 0 points. Conceded 4. They've lost every single game 1-0 so far this season. Last week, of course, they lost 1-0 to Newport County, whilst Crewe Alexandra got a late Mickey Dimitro and Chris Long goal to take 3 points away from Bromley. And am I going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to go for the 5th straight 1-0 defeat for Morecambe. I'm going to go Crewe Alexandra 1, Morecambe 0. There's pain at the Mazuma Stadium and for Derek Adams' men, but I think they're going to lose again. And I'm going to go Crewe Alexandra 1, Morecambe 0.
Next up then, Crewe Alexandra 18th against Morecambe, who are rock bottom with 0 points. And unfortunately, I think it's going to continue for Morecambe. I think Crewe obviously had that very, very poor result against Chesterfield. I think they lost 5-1 at home. I think they were 4-0 down at one stage as well. So yeah, Crewe, I think they'll bounce back. And I'm going to go for a 3-0 Crewe win.
Doncaster versus Gillingham is a massive, massive game in League 2 this weekend. Doncaster, of course, only the one defeat, being that one defeat to Newport County. They currently sit in 5th behind Newport County on goal difference, whilst Gillingham, their visitors for this weekend, sit top of the table, 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw. And last week they were very convincing from what I've heard against Chesterfield, getting the 1-0 win there. Doncaster also, Luke Molyneux and Billy Sharp, that's all you have to say, as they managed to get a 3-2 win at Vale Park, thanks to 2 goals from Luke Molyneux and a Billy Sharp goal. I think this one, again, is going to have goals in it. I've seen what both teams have done this season. Both teams have scored quite a lot from their first 4 games, and both teams have conceded. Doncaster scored 9, conceded 6, whilst Gillingham scored 6, conceded 1. I think there's goals in this one. I'm going to go with a Desmond. I'm going to go for Doncaster overs 2, Gillingham 2 at the Keep Moat.
Next up, Doncaster, who are in 5th, and Gillingham, who are in 1st. I have seen Gillingham once this season. Obviously, they played Swansea. they played their reserve team and still put up a good fight. So I've been impressed with them. Obviously, they got Johnny Esther. Doncaster, though, under Grant McCann, did a terrific job second half of last season. It's going to be a close game. I go for a 2-2 draw. I think there'll be goals in this one.
19th place MK Dons against second in the league, Walsall. An absolute car crash of a season so far for MK Dons. Only the one win coming against Carlisle. 3 defeats this season against Bradford, Colchester, and Monday night against Salford. And I watched that Salford game, and they're just poor. They just don't look like they've got the end product. 4 goals out of 4 games, one of the lowest in the division. I just don't see where their goals are going to come from at the moment. And Walsall, a team that are just playing really well. They got a very good win last week against a difficult Cheltenham side. Obviously, the only defeat coming at Prenton Park on match day 3. But I just think this is going to be another one of those games where MK Dons look at and think, how have we not won it? I'm going to go MK Dons 0, Walsall 1. Another 3 points for the Saddlers.
So next up, MK Dons versus Walsall. Now, if I said to you one team are 19th and one team is second, you'd assume MK Dons are second with the money, but they're not. They are not doing very well this season. Also have done terrifically well, but I feel like MK Dons will have to come good, obviously. International break for a majority of teams on League 2, of course. I think there's only one postponed game, but MK Dons have to come good at some point, and I feel like the quality they got, it'll be hard to look past them in this one. I'll go for a 1-0 victory to MK Dons.
An ultimate game and probably the best game of the weekend in League 2, and it sees Rodney Parade host Port Vale, Newport County against Port Vale. Port Vale obviously won on the opening day, didn't they? But apart from that, it's been a draw and 2 defeats. They weren't convincing last week at home to Doncaster, whilst we weren't convincing away at Morecambe, but got 3 massive points. We sit 4th in the league table. Could go top of the table on Saturday, providing results go our way, of course. But I'm just taking it one game at a time at the moment, and that's what I'm going to do for this fixture. A draw would probably be a good result, based off everything going into it. But I am going to go with another 1-0 win. 1-0 win last week. And I said in my watch long that 1-0 wins win you titles and 1-0 wins win you promotions and cups. And they really do. Finding a way and finding a solution to get over the line is so important. I'm going to go with Newport County 1, Port Vale 0.
So this is the one you're probably all looking out for. Newport County vs Port Vale. Newport, 4th place, 9 points, 3 victories from a possible 4 after suffering an opening day defeat. Port Vale under Darren Moore, I forgot his name then, they're 17th. Tough game this. I think Newport, look, they've started very, very well, but we all know League 2 is a slog and it's a tough league to get out of. I know you got more promotion teams and less relegating teams, but it's just really, really hard the amount of games you play. I feel like a draw. I hate to say it, Newport fans. I think 1-1 draw, and I think there could be a red card in this one for some reason, but yeah, I'll go 1-1.
Final fixture of match day 5 due to obviously Tranmere AFC Wimbledon postponed and Fleetwood Town against Salford postponed is Notts County against Accrington Stanley. Notts County last weekend, as I mentioned, came from 1-0 behind at Swindon with 2 David McGoldrick goals to take all 3 points, whilst Accrington Stanley played Colchester United and drew 1-1. And I just look at Accrington Stanley, yes, they were in front for like 50, 60 minutes, I think it was, before Ben Goodliff equalised for Colchester. But I look at Accrington currently sitting in 22nd, Notts County in the playoffs in 7th. I think this one, in my opinion, is an absolute mismatch. Notts County scoring goals, Accrington leaking them left, right and centre. The most conceded in the division by 2 goals, I think, conceded 11 so far this season. And I'm going to go for another load of goals for Accrington to concede. Notts County 4, Accrington Stanley 1.
So the penultimate fixture, last but one, we got Notts County at home against Accrington Stanley. Notts County then 7th in League 2. Obviously, Luke Williams left them last season. Accrington then not doing too well, 22nd place. I think it'll be a standard Notts County victory this. I'm going to go for a 4-1 Notts County win. I think, you know, their home form will be key to them this season.
Guys, those are mine and Reese's game week 5 predictions. He did mention in Notts County prediction that is the penultimate game. He thought that Tranmere AFC Wimbledon was the last game. So just ignore that in editing. Please make sure to smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Get your Game Week 5 predictions in down below as well. And make sure to go and subscribe to Reese. Swans Away Days, absolute legend. Thanks for coming on as always. And obviously go and support him. Not only is he a fellow content creator, but also a very, very good mate of mine. So do go and show him support. But like I said, subscribe, like this video, make sure you are turning those notification bells on so you never miss an upload or a live stream, and I'll see you in the next video. Let's hope I get some predictions right, and I can't lose to a championship content creator, can I? Surely not. Thanks for watching.